Sometimes the most fascinating stories about who we are and where we come from, they're not hiding in some dusty history book. They're in the most unexpected places. Today, we're going to dive into one of those stories, all thanks to a nearly 100-year-old booklet from Portland, Oregon. I want you to imagine something. Let's say it's your job. You've got one shot, one small souvenir booklet to convince thousands of people to travel clear across the country to visit your hometown. What do you show them? What's the story you're going to tell?
Well, that's the exact challenge a group from Portland, Oregon faced back in 1924. And this little booklet, this was their answer. For the next few minutes, this is going to be our main character. It's a time capsule that shows us not just what a city was, but what it was dreaming of becoming.
Okay, so first things first, who exactly made the super ambitious pitch, and what were they trying to pull off? Meet the creators. Now, this isn't some official board of tourism or chamber of commerce. Nope. This is the Star Lodge Police Drill Team, a local chapter of a fraternal order called the Oddfellows. And these guys, looking incredibly sharp, had a very specific mission. Get this, they traveled over 4,000 miles from Portland all the way to Jacksonville, Florida, just to attend the National Odd Fellows Convention. And their goal? To convince the entire organization to hold its next huge gathering, the 101st session no less, right there in their city. So who even were the Odd Fellows? Well, at the time, they were one of the largest fraternal organizations in the entire world. Their motto, which you can see right here on their crest, was all about community service and helping each other out. They were a huge social force in early 20th century America. And they were a massive deal in Oregon. This number, 50,825, that's the combined membership of the Odd Fellows and their sister organization, the Rebeccas, just in that state in 1924. This shows you these weren't just a few guys on a road trip. They were representing a huge and really influential group of people back home. All right, so with that in mind, let's get to the good stuff, the pitch itself. How in the world did they sell Portland to all their fellow members from across the country? They started with the brand. You gotta have a brand, right? And Portland was and still is the Rose City. The booklet is just filled with pictures of roses, leading super hard into this identity of natural beauty and civic pride. And they had this fantastic slogan that they used over and over again. It's so direct, so charming, it's almost like a personal dare. It's not just a sales pitch, it's a warm, direct, personal invitation. Come and get it. I love that. And the language they used, wow. Just listen to this. It's basically poetry. Delightfully stimulating, refreshingly restful, prodigal profusion. They're not just describing the weather, they're selling you a dream, a paradise where even the air feels perfect. But it wasn't all poetry and roses. They backed up all those beautiful words with cold, hard data. They wanted to prove Portland wasn't just some sleepy little town. They bragged about its population, its hundreds of miles of paved streets, and its major strategic advantage as the only freshwater harbor on the entire Pacific coast. This was a modern, happening city. And this is where we see the real art of a great sales pitch. On one hand, they're promising no extremes of temperature and scarcely any snow. But then, kind of buried in the data, they admit the average annual rainfall is 45 inches, which is the same as New York City. It's just a masterful bit of framing, isn't it? And of course, they had a very specific reason for their fellow Oddfellows to feel right at home. They heavily promoted their brand new, magnificent 6-story temple. It was a clear message. Hey, we've got the modern facilities, and we are ready to host you in style. But the pitch wasn't just about the city. They knew their ultimate trump card was something bigger, something more romantic, the incredible allure of the American West. They tapped right into that 1920s obsession with the West. I mean, this language is just unbelievable. It positions Oregon not just as a place to visit, but as an adventure. It's the last great frontier, a place for real exploration and discovery. And this is what that frontier looked like. The booklet is packed with images of absolutely breathtaking scenery. It boasts about the 24 waterfalls along the Columbia River Highway alone, including the majestic 725-foot Multnomah Falls. They were so smart about this too, they even laid out potential itineraries for visitors, showing just how easy it was to see all these amazing things. In just half a day, you could drive the famous highway. In an hour, you could get a stunning view of the city from Council Crest. And in 2 hours, you could even tour one of the massive lumber mills that powered the whole region's economy.
The absolute crown jewel of their pitch, though, was the Columbia River Highway. And just listen to how they describe building it. It's not just a road. It's this heroic, almost mythic achievement. It's man taming nature for the good of the American people.
And it really was a modern marvel. It had tunnels carved right through solid rock walls, with these amazing windows looking out over the river. And at its most scenic spot, Crown Point, stood the Vista House, a beautiful memorial to the Oregon pioneers. It was the perfect symbol of both nature and progress.
So, after digging into this incredible little booklet, what does it all tell us? What have we actually unpacked from this 1920s time capsule? I think this one illustration from the booklet just sums it all up perfectly. Here you have it. Orderly fields, modern cars, a statue that looks like Lady Liberty, and it's all framed by the beautiful, untamed wilderness of Mount Hood looming in the background. It's the perfect self-image of a city that saw itself as the ideal mix of civilization and nature.
So this one single document gives us a snapshot of so much more than just a city. It shows us the power of that civic pride, what they called boosterism in the Roaring Twenties. It reveals how important fraternal orders were to community life, that romantic vision of the West, and a city's ambition to prove itself on a national stage. And, of course, it teaches us a whole lot about the timeless art of a really, really good sales pitch.
And all that leaves us with one final thought. If a group from your town had to create a booklet just like this today, to sell your community to the rest of the world, what would be in it? What's the idealized image your city would want to project? What's the story it would choose to tell?